Oh, okay. Hello and welcome to the first predictions video of the Beach Bros Wrestling podcast. We are here with an all-star crew here tonight, and we're even missing somebody too. So we'll see if he shows up. But my name is Matt. I'm here with my co-host and co-owner of the channel, the Beach Bros Wrestling channel, Hunter. How you doing, Hunter?
I'm doing great. Feels good for episode 2 being released, and nothing better than to do it on SummerSlam, baby.
No
Hottest
question about it.
match card of the summer.
Doesn't get much better than that. Also here with us today, one of our two expected guests. The other one's not here yet. One of our two expected guests. He is my roommate at Coast Carolina University. Everybody, please welcome Bennett. Bennett, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. Always great. SummerSlam, woohoo, whoopee. I think it's gonna be a really mid pay-per-view, but we'll discuss. We'll see. Uh,
Yes.
hey,
Starting
listen,
with our hot
live and
topic.
die by the NXT. That's all I gotta say.
Hot
Understand.
take already.
We have Mr. NXT right here. Bennett, if I'm not with him, this guy does not watch a single second of main roster. It's very impressive, actually. But
I'll watch the pay-per-views. That's about it.
that's fair. That's fair. So before we get started with our SummerSlam predictions, we'll just do like a quick little introductory thing. Audiences aren't familiar with who we are. We're going to say our name, our favorite wrestler, and when we started watching. So I'll go first. My name is Matt. My favorite wrestler right now is Drew McIntyre, but Austin Theory is a close second behind there. And I started watching in 2010, around the time when Jack Swagger first won the World Heavyweight Championship. So, Ben, you can go ahead.
All right. I'm Ben Bennett. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I do what I want. My my favorite wrestler. He's still active. Like I'd go LA Knight just because I love him, but I think my favorite wrestler is still Dolph Ziggler. I mean, he's still technically active. So that's my boy. And I have platonically been keeping up with, but not really watching since 2015. And then I really started watching it in like 2019, 2020 era. So right when COVID hit was when I started watching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Hunt.
My name's Hunter. I'm gonna switch up a little bit. I'm gonna go my favorite all time, Jeff Hardy. Big Jeff Hardy fan. Growing up, watching his box sets. I started watching about 2009. I didn't really like it was kind of just like was on cable, but I didn't really start getting into it until late 2010. And I didn't really watch a lot of live TV. I watched the old like box sets of DVDs and stuff and all that.
Very nice. Very good. It's good to see that we can all come from like different paths of how to start watching, but yet we all enjoy the same thing. I find stuff like that very interesting. So let's get started with the actual predictions for SummerSlam 2023. What we have here, we're going to start off with the rumored likely opening match of the card, according to Twitter, or sorry, X. So take it for what you will. The rumored opening match right now is Ricochet versus Logan Paul, the social media megastar. This rivalry started back at the Royal Rumble. They had one of the most viral Royal Rumble moments you'll ever see, where they each took a side of the ring, did the springboard off the ropes, and collided into each other, and it broke the internet for just about a couple of days or so. But now, ever since Money in the Bank, they've started having some heated tensions, and they're going to put it to a head at SummerSlam in a one-on-one contest. What are we thinking for this match, Hunter? I want to know your thoughts first.
So I don't think this is going to be a one-off. I think this feud's going to go into another pay-per-view. But I think that honestly, I've been really kind of big on Ricochet lately because I've been a big supporter on him. But I do think that Logan Paul needs a pay-per-view win, and I think that he needs it more than Ricochet does. And I think that's partially due to the fact that Logan Paul is drawing in other viewerships and stuff. And on SummerSlam, which is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, I think that Logan Paul will beat Ricochet. Do I want it to happen? It's gonna be a great match. It's gonna be a great opener. But I got Logan Paul winning by some sort of cheap antic.
Understandable. How about you, Ben?
I think having Logan Paul win this match, I mean, he hasn't really he's really just known for all these viral moments, but I think him beating Ricochet clean, even if he can do that, if it's possible, if he could even ever do that, it would be like a boost to, like, I think true WWE fans and wrestling fans who are kind of skeptical of what Logan Paul can do, and putting him up against someone like Ricochet. They both complement each other in the ring. Ricochet, I don't want to call him a jobber because I really do have hopes that he'll do something else in his career, something big. But as of right now, he is a jobber on the main roster, and he's putting over. His job right now is to put over Logan Paul, and that's at least until Big Boy comes back. Braun Strowman. There we go. It took me a
Big
minute.
boy.
Big Boy, and so Braun comes back. So Ricochet versus Logan Paul, I could see it definitely going a couple of pay-per-views more because honestly, viral moments are going to happen the entire match, and WWE can make a lot of money off of just having these two keep fighting. So I expect it to continue, but I have Logan Paul.
You have Logan Paul winning. Good. It's interesting because the last time Logan Paul won a match at a premium live event, it was last year's SummerSlam. Ever since then, he's had matches against Roman at Crown Jewel, Seth Rollins, WrestleMania. He was in the Royal Rumble match. He was in the Money in the Bank match. So this is a prime opportunity to get him that win. Like Hunter says, if it's more than a one-off, you have to give it to Logan Paul there. And honestly, they might do it just for the sake of him having an undefeated SummerSlam record, even if it's 2 matches. That's still 2 more wins than a lot of people, and he can boast about that for the rest of his career into the next year. So I think this match is going to be back and forth. It's going to be very high flying. I expect a lot of planned viral moments coming out of that. But I can also see this going a nice 10, 12-minute pace. I'm sure there will be shenanigans of some sort, but I am also going to give the win to Logan Paul there. And I think after that, he wants to try and make I think his brother is fighting somebody in a boxing match. So I think he's going to leave right after that. So might make a lot of sense if that's the opening match. So sweep on the Logan Paul decision there. As we move on, we're going to talk about now one of the 4.
Sweet.
That's right. WWE has put up 4 main events. That's 3, 4. 4 main events advertised for SummerSlam, which does not make it a main event just because you call it main event. It is obviously the last match on the card. But WWE does it how they want to do it. One of those main events is the triple threat match for the I can't keep forgetting these names, man. The undisputed women's championship. I think that's what they're calling it. On
it's like a puzzle.
It's it's been a couple months now, and yet I still call it the Raw Women's Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship. I'll get to it. We got the champion Asuka.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but yeah, I didn't interrupt you, but it's hard to remember the belt when the champion is not on TV.
You're not totally wrong. And there's been big debate about Rhea Ripley going on as well. She's not even on the card. But her doing her stuff in the Judgment Day, it's got her on TV, so that's the best you can ask for right now. But this match, the women's champion Asuka taking on Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair in a triple threat match. We all knew this match was coming at SummerSlam, and voila, it's here. You can say what the build is. You can call it what it is. It's been lackluster build, but we do have 3 of the best women's wrestlers today in a match. So I expect greatness. And Bennett, I'll let you go ahead. Tell me what you think about this match. Who you got winning?
I hate this match. Like, it's just, I don't want to see either 3 of these women in a triple threat. Like, it's asking for botches, and it's asking for just no sells, because that's all they do. That's all Bianca does. No sell, no sell. And then Charlotte, no sells. Asuka's the only one. She's going to get getting thrown around like a rag doll the entire match. That's what's going to happen because she's smaller than both of them. and she can take bumps really well. And she shows a lot of emotion when she wrestles. Charlotte Flair shows emotion when she loses because she cries like a baby. And then Bianca, just don't get me started. I feel like they're gonna pull a big oh my god moment, and they're gonna have Charlotte Flair get a cheap win off of Bianca hitting some KOD, and then Charlotte steals the pin or something. Um, I I can just see them putting the title back on Charlotte because with Charlotte you get stability. I would not be. I'm just gonna put this out there. I would not be surprised if Bianca wins, but just Asuka can't stay as a champion on the main roster. Like it doesn't work. Um, and I'm not trying to say anything, but just you have to be good at promos and you have to be consistent. And when you can't do that and you can't talk to the fans and you can't tell them what you want to do, you can't be a good champion. And it's just something she's always struggled with. She's great in the ring, cannot hold a fucking promo ever. So I got Charlotte winning.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So I'll go ahead and give out my opinion while we're at it. Um, I think every time Asuka's been the women's champion, whatever brand she's been on, she's had what 6 or 7 of these reigns since she's came to the main roster, and I think every single one of them, she's been like in the background of her reign. It's always about her opponents. It's never about Asuka. What Asuka does, she wins matches. Hell, Hunter and I went to SmackDown a couple weeks ago. She won a women's championship match, and yet she was still left in the background. Yeah, she had the tough. She walked away. Bianca and Charlotte were going at it, so all the focus was put on them. It's been a common theme, and it's no fault of Asuka. She had a great run at NXT, and it's something to be very, very proud of. When it comes to the main roster, it's been tough. It's been tough sailing, and it's been tough to watch as a fan, and that's just the honest truth. So when it comes to this triple threat, I think we're in for a very good match here. All three of these women know how to put on instant classic. The chemistry might be a little off because I don't think we've ever seen these three in a triple threat before. So I wouldn't expect the most clean match, but I can say it will be very entertaining. That being said, I felt this from the beginning that this is just another ploy to get Charlotte another women's championship, and I'm going to stick by that, Ben. I think Charlotte's going to come out on top. It really doesn't matter who she pins. She's probably going to pin Asuka to like keep Bianca's momentum till WrestleMania. It is what it is. Any of them can afford a loss at this point. But Charlotte just needs to get out of the title picture, but that's just not going to happen. What do you got, Hunter?
Listen, I got neither. Io Sky's walking out the belt.
There we go.
I could see it.
I'll tell you why. Charlotte's not going to win. Asuka's not going to win. Bianca Belair is going to win, and Charlotte's going to turn full heel and attack her after. Bianca's going to get written off. They're going to have a feud coming up. It's probably Extreme Rules, probably main event card, and I think that Io Sky will cash in, and I think that will set up a long-term story. She'll beat Asuka a few pay-per-views and a few of the jobbers, and then Bayley and her have a WrestleMania match where Bayley's the face. I think that's my long term. But I think Io Sky's cashing in.
I'm with that. Would it be a dream if none of those three walked out as a champion? Maybe so. I mean,
I would be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would be happy about that. Io Sky is the second longest reigning women's Money in the Bank ever because she didn't cash it in within 24 hours. So,
right.
Let that persist. So we got 2 for Charlotte, 1 for Io Sky. I'm with it. I am with it.
Well, Bianca's going to win the match.
Yeah, which is what Bianca technically, but Io Sky walks out.
Right.
Io Sky walking out as champion.
Bianca, so and Charlotte turns full heel.
Yeah, and I could see that. I mean, the fans want to do it every time she's in the title picture, so you might as well just pull the trigger while you're at it.
And it makes sense. It makes sense to give Charlotte and Bianca their own like 3 pay-per-views, like Brock and Cody.
Yeah,
having matches and a new champion, and Asuka and Io Sky can wrestle a few times. Then it can lead to the Bayley.
Yeah, hopefully Bayley's injury isn't something significant, but I think the money feud on SmackDown right now is Bianca versus Charlotte. So ideally, they have one of those matches at Royal Rumble, and then you kind of just go from there. That's my opinion.
Hell, even if she's back on time, you could do a triple threat with Dakota Kai if she's back.
Yeah,
but
I
That's
was
it.
gonna say something about Dakota Kai and how they could pull the trigger on her winning something, you know,
Hmm.
making her way
That
to that title picture.
that'd be a money match. I mean, damage control triple threat. I'd be willing to see that with our good friend Dakota Kai. Is that Decoder? Man,
Decoder.
that's great. I love. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok, man, but it's great where they just have all the Stone Colds in the call, and then Dakota Kai joins, and they all just start talking like Stone Cold. It's great. It's great. All right, moving on. Before I go more into the TikTok lore, let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship match coming up. We've got the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of this modern era, the Ring General, Gunther, taking on the freshly returned Scottish warrior Drew McIntyre in what is probably going to be another big boy, hard hitting man fest where there will be chops, there will be punches, there will be loud kicks, and there will be a winner. The question is, who's going to walk out the Intercontinental Champion? And I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to tell you right now, as a fan of Drew McIntyre, Gunther is walking out Intercontinental Champion. And I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I would love my boy Drew to win, but Gunther is on the run of his life right now. And I don't see any way that McIntyre can get out of SummerSlam as Intercontinental Champion unless he has backup that's more than just Riddle to combat Imperium. Hunter's giving me that look
I
like,
hear
oh, what do you
voices.
say? What do you say? What can it be? Could it be the Viper? I don't know.
We all know
But
what you mean.
if he
We all
doesn't
know
have
what you're
that backup,
insinuating.
I don't see McIntyre coming out of SummerSlam as Intercontinental Champion. Does that fuel a heel turn for the future? Who knows? But I don't think this will be a one-off. I think they'll have a couple more matches at this point. And McIntyre has been one of the favorites to dethrone Gunther at some point. But I think SummerSlam's a little too early. I think they want to give him like the actual record. But if we're just looking at this from kayfabe standpoint, it's going to be tough. Even though it's one of his first matches back, I don't know if McIntyre come out with it. So I'm giving my vote to Gunther. Hunter, let me hear what you got to say.
Drew's walking out. Drew's gonna win the IC title. I don't. I don't think that. I think it's too predictable for them to give Gunther the record because they're. I mean, it's. You already got another record title reign with Roman. So do you need another record title reign? Is this what it is? Record title reigns. I don't even think it's about it. I think he's proven he's the greatest IC title champion ever. And I think that Drew has been screwed on bigger pay-per-views. Like he lost the belt at WrestleMania. Well, no,
He
he
lost that
lost
match
his
at
rematch
WrestleMania.
against Bobby.
Yeah.
He lost at Clash of the Castle. He lost. He loses. He lost at WrestleMania and Triple Threat. It's his time to win, and I think that Drew will win. But good call on the heel turn because if Drew doesn't win, I see Drew turning heel, and I don't know, but I do think that Drew should win because the world title between I think Balor's going to win. Him and Priest are going to have a long story, and it's not going to open up for Drew, and Drew needs a belt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Solid. Bennett, go ahead.
Tiebreaker.
So,
That's right.
so here's my thing with this whole record thing. I feel like Gunther, the reason he will eventually get this record is that he's Triple H's guy. Like this is the guy he's entrusted with this title. It's really one of the first people he put on to have like this big title reign since he took over. I mean, he walked in, Roman was champion. All right. And so he's made all of these changes, but I think he wants something consistent besides that he created, that he didn't, well, he wasn't just handed. Now he's done a bunch of stuff with Roman, but getting Gunther to that title, to history, sets up the precedent for this Triple H run as the content officer of, all right, this is the benchmark for this title. This is how awesome this title is now because Gunther has made history with it. Everyone who gets it after is living up to that legacy as well as what the legacy of that title used to be. So I think he's going to walk out with it. I honestly, I can see Drew turning heel, but at the same time, I feel like too many people like him, where if he turned heel,
Mm.
he's still going to get fan support, like cheering him and not booing him. Uh, and meanwhile, Gunther's always going to be a heel until he loses that title. People love him, but they don't want to see him win. So I think maybe him staying face, especially if he gets screwed, like ref distraction and title hitting him or something like that. And it's a dirty finish, which it probably will be because as long as Imperium's around, it's always a dirty finish. So I think giving Gunther the win, it's going to be a messy win. It sets up for them for another pay-per-view down the road. Sets up for more amazing matches. Or if it's a messy win and Drew McIntyre moves on, he needs a title and he needs a pay-per-view title win, but he's so good by himself and he's so good just in the ring that you could have him doing anything and it would be fine. So
No, I absolutely
I
agree.
totally agree. I agree, and I think that following what you're saying, I don't think you should turn heel yet because we need more faces.
we have too many heels.
Too many
That's true.
heels.
Too many
It,
good heels.
it's
Like
too
that's the
Everything.
easy to
difference. Is
turn heel.
we used to have a lot of shitty heels. Oh, am I allowed to say that? What's the content rating?
Oh, this
You say
isn't
whatever
made
you
for
want.
kids, so you're good.
Oh, great.
Fuck shit,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh,
There you
piss.
go.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of shitty heels like 2020-ish, a lot of shitty heels, and I think since Triple H has taken over and he's really refined the heel role, into LA Knight, Seth Rollins was a heel for a while, and it was just
Yeah.
fantastic. Roman Reigns, those are the type of heels we want. We don't want fucking I'm Scottish and I'm angry, so I'm a bad guy.
Austin Theory.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
shitty Austin Theory knockoff Cena heels.
he's different. He just has
He needs to
confidence
be
issues. That's it.
his
He just
goofy.
sucks in the ring. Oh my
He
god,
needs
he's
to be his goofy character again.
I don't
yes.
think the knock on Theory should be his ring work though.
They
Like
need to
this is
put
as a
Grayson Waller. Give Grayson the title now. Just go ahead, give him the United States title. He's better than Theory. We know this
crazy.
to be true.
He's better
It's
than Theory.
crazy.
He knows it.
We're going to go off the script a little bit here because now you've got me going on my guy Austin Theory. I don't think the knock on him should be ring work. I think the knock on him should be character work. And
It's
you can
both.
say what you want. He's been booked. He hasn't had, I'll say this, he hasn't had a real feud, a real meaningful feud that's lasted more than 2 to 3 weeks since the feud with John Cena at WrestleMania. Since then, it's been one off championship matches, and perhaps, oh, look, there's Sheamus. We'll fight for the United States Championship. 2 weeks later, after not interacting at all, Sheamus, let's fight again. And then they had Ridge Holland, and I don't know. So, but the thing about Theory is, I think when you compare him to Grayson Waller, I think his moves are much more impressive. Now, in terms of in-ring charisma, I think Waller's got it by a mile. That basketball move he does, like between his legs, I think it's awesome. I love that.
Kobe.
But and him mocking the people's elbow was funny last week. But I will say about Theory, he impresses in the ring, and on the date we are filming this, it is his 26th birthday.
Happy
So there
birthday,
is,
Theory.
yeah, happy birthday.
He bit John Cena in front of Make-A-Wish kids.
A-Town. He did do
He did
that.
indeed.
He bit
That
John Cena in front of a crowd of Make-A-Wish kids. Like, why?
that alone puts him in the heel Hall of Fame. And
No.
all he had to do was hook the leg. Ridiculous. All right. My tangent's over. We can go back on script now. We are going to talk about the other women's match on this card. As while we were preparing for this podcast, we all thought it was going to be Becky versus Trish added to the card, but alas, is not the case. Is 2 weeks from now in Manitoba, Canada. So that's been sparking a lot of outrage online right now, and by a lot of outrage, I mean just on Twitter and Reddit. So,
Matt Reddit.
what?
That's where you frequent. You frequent Reddit. Yeah.
That's right. I am a frequent Redditor. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Regardless, this women's match, this one does have a pretty good story. Although the turn of getting there is very abrupt. I mean, Shayna's just had enough of being in Ronda's spotlight, and honestly, I respect her for it. But Hunter, go ahead. Tell me what you think about this match. Who's coming out the winner?
I think Ronda's going to put her friend over Shayna. I think Shayna needs it. I don't think Ronda needs it. Ronda can get pinned 100 times and still be the baddest woman on the planet.
Mhm.
And there's also rumors that she's going back to MMA. So this is the send off. She's going to let her friend, one of her best friends, go over, and I think Shayna puts her to sleep. Actually,
Wow.
which is going to solidify Shayna as a main eventer, and we need another main eventer in the women's division severely.
No, I agree. I agree with you. And to piggyback on that, I mean, they had their chance to make Shayna like this dangerous monster a few years ago in 2020, but she lost her match to Becky clean as a whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before she got pregnant.
I mean,
So,
she killed that elimination chamber too. I thought it was over.
dude, that's like my mom watched that match with me. We were just like in a hotel watching that match, and she was like, "This chick is gonna kill somebody," and then WrestleMania happened. So this is a perfect time. You beat the baddest woman on the planet. You take over, and then you command. What brand are they even on? They're on SmackDown. Or they on? I don't even know anymore because they just show up on Raw. They were on SmackDown first. Now they're just showing up on Raw during their segments.
There's no consistency in the
Yeah,
WWE. They do all
none.
these
The
brand
brand
splits,
splits,
and there's
nothing.
no consistency.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, Baron Corbin's drafted to this brand. Oh, he's on NXT now.
He's a free agent. The free agency thing is wild because we still haven't seen Von Wagner on the main roster.
I know, bro.
That's why it's
Don't
invalid.
get me started. Don't get me started. Mr.
We
Stone
love
better
Von
than Paul Heyman. Book it now.
What a comparison. We'll make a whole episode about that one day.
Oh yeah, just
But
comparing stats.
that's right. That's right. And in terms of the match, I got Shayna winning as well. This is rumored to be Rousey's last match. We'll see. We'll see if that holds true. But I think Shayna needs this win. Ronda's already proven everything she needed to prove. Shayna could use this win. So Bennett, what do you got?
This is two meaty men fighting in the ring, trying to outmeet each other.
Wow.
You know, it's they're the same person, just different names. Like, and one of them's MMA. Like, either way it goes, you're still gonna have the exact same type of wrestler coming out of this situation. And so their move sets are the same. They complement each other. It's gonna be just a lot of like submission attempts and people slapping each other. So I got Shayna as well, mainly because I mean, you take out Ronda Rousey, you kind of you do put yourself in the main event. And right now, there is no like besides the three women that are in this match and Rhea Ripley. There's no one else, and Becky Lynch. There's no one else at this main event elite level of talent in the women's division. And so her getting to that point, hopefully, because she's been there a couple of times, never been able to stay there. Getting to that point, getting some consistent wins. I mean, she can go for some title matches finally. We won't have to see Natalia again.
Don't doubt the WWE when it comes to Natalia.
Jesus, one can pray.
Being put in matches she has no reason being in, especially when they're title matches.
Winning a freaking fatal 4-way women's match to qualify. Sitting there like, wait, huh? She did awful. What now? And she stole the pin. Like, Shotzi had that in the bag. She got robbed.
She did. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. There's not enough time to talk about that.
No, there's not.
Horribly cringe interaction that happened after the show. Maybe one day. As we move on, let's talk about the recently added match to the card. The SummerSlam Battle Royal. And there's not too much to talk about because they haven't really revealed all the participants yet. I assume they'll reveal it Friday on SmackDown. We're recording this on Wednesday. I'm assuming they'll reveal it Friday on SmackDown. But I think the only confirmed names that I know of right now are LA Knight, Sheamus, Tommaso Ciampa, and Shinsuke Nakamura. So I guess the question is, do we think one of those four is going to win it? Or is it going to be some random dude like Bronson Reed? My opinion is it should be LA Knight, and it's a good way to give him a win. I know he hasn't had many of those this year, Although he did beat half of Hit Row, Shantae Adonis, the other week, so we'll give him that. But if they don't give him the win, you can't even say it's a bad thing at this point because he's maintained to stay so over with the crowd, and it's very impressive because everybody knows whose game it is, and it's L.A. Knight. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm giving LA Knight the win, but I'm curious to see if you guys have any different winners. Ben, I'll start with you.
I got one thing to say. This match is a battle royal. Who's gonna throw him over the top rope?
Oh no.
You
Oh,
know he's
no.
gonna be in it. You know he's gonna be in it. Give me top dollar. Give me top dollar. Who's gonna do it? Nobody can throw that man over the top rope.
Oh,
You seen him?
oh.
300 pounds of beef. That's a man.
Like
No, in all seriousness, give me LA Knight. Give me LA Knight.
Oh, thank God.
No,
Oh,
bro called that man Uncle Phil. He took all of the respect Top Dollar has ever earned and squashed it. Nah, give me LA.
dude.
It's his game.
Michael Cole would have a heart attack if Top Dollar won that battle royal. He's his biggest
Especially if he threw
hater.
Bronson Reed over the top rope.
Right. Jesus.
Poor
Oh my
Grace sitting
God.
over there. Oh,
You scared me, dog. Oh my God. Hunter, please tell me you're on this train.
Listen, it's going to come down to LA Knight and Bronson Reed or LA Knight and Omos. And
Oh no.
it's
I forgot about
only
the
one
hottest
person's
free
game.
agent.
And it's
Whose game is it?
Bronson Reed.
yeah,
Big Bronson Reed. No.
it's LA
Well,
Knight's game. That's
right.
your
You
game.
know me.
Yeah.
Let's
Sweet.
talk about that match a little more because I'm getting a call from one of our other guests here. So you guys go ahead.
No
So.
freaking way.
No way.
No
No way.
way.
He's gonna pop in the 5th hour.
You're like, dude, we've been on for like 5 hours. Where you been?
No, but this battle royal is gonna either gonna be really good or it's gonna be 5 minutes. Like
Yeah, I see the final four being Bronson or Omos, Knight, Ciampa, and Sheamus.
I could see it. I could also substitute Ciampa for Shinsuke if it gets to that point because Shinsuke, he's too slippery. You can't get him over the top rope.
He is
Former
very
Royal Rumble
slippery.
winner.
Just never backed it up at the Mania.
Thanks for carrying the conversation, guys. Our it appears our second guest will be arriving to the call very shortly.
On Friday.
Yes.
The question
in
is
part 2. But he'll be here. Our guy Justin will be here. So when he comes in, we'll catch him up to speed. But until then, we're just gonna keep going on.
Yeah, Braun Strowman flipped his ambulance. Yeah.
Yeah. Braun Strowman flipped his ambulance, and that's why he cannot show up. I understand completely. So we are down to 3 matches left. We would call these definitely the 3 biggest matches of the show. I don't think there's any question about that. We talked about this one earlier, so we're going to go ahead and go deep dive into it. How about the World Heavyweight Championship match? Champion Seth Rollins taking on challenger Finn Balor for what seems to be the 86th time now. But yet every match has been consistently good, and I've been very impressed by their work. So we have the story going in that Seth Rollins cost Finn Balor the Universal title with the injury. Even though Finn Balor won the match at SummerSlam 2016, he cost him his reign and a good chunk of his career. And that's the story going in. 7 years later, Finn Balor wants revenge, and ideally a longer title reign than just a day. He has the Judgment Day at his side. Seth Rollins has maybe Sami Zayn because Kevin Owens is hurt right now. So putting all this together, we have what could be one of the greatest matches in the new World Heavyweight Championship history on the line here. Are we going to see a new champion, or will we hear the crowd singing his song all night long? Oh, that was not harmonized or on key at all, and yet we still did it. Hunter, give me your
because of
thoughts.
that guy. Steph's dropping the belt. Finn's coming on top. And I think that that's the best thing to do because the Damian Priest Money in the Bank storyline will not be interesting if Ben is not the champion. Sorry. Do I think he's going to get cashed in on? No. I think it's going to be a long-term wait for it. But I think that Finn will win, and he will think about cashing in a dramatic moment, but he won't. And I think it's going to be clean. I think he's going to win clean.
Okay. Okay.
Revenge. And Seth's going to go get his back surgery or whatever he needs done. I think he needs to
He's
take
gonna
time
be in a
off.
movie, isn't he?
He has a movie. I think
Really?
he has a Marvel movie.
Yeah, he's
and I
gonna be in
think
a
he
Marvel
needs
movie.
neck surgery. I think
Yeah,
he
so
needs
he's going to be
both.
out. He's going to be out for a while.
I offer you a caveat. I agree with you, and I really hope they go that way. But I offer you a caveat of Rollins wins the match. Priest and Finn beat the ever loving crap out of him. Finn cashes in. Balor cashes. Not gosh. Priest cashes in. There we go. Got there eventually, and wins the title right after that. Or maybe he beats crap out of him, and then you sets up Balor versus Priest because Balor lost the title match and now he wants to face off against Priest. I could see that too. Either way, I think Rollins does not walk out of here with the title. He's got too much crap that he's doing. So and it might be time for him to take a really short break, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't wear himself out. And I think having a new title holder after this pay-per-view would be really nice because it's getting a little stale. Like Theory's not dropping the belt anytime soon. Gunter might not, and Roman definitely isn't. So having some title changeover it would be nice.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think what we've been missing this past year and a half before we got the World Heavyweight Championship introduced was like a world title that actually had multiple champions. And we saw that with the WWE Championship. I mean, in its final months before getting tossed over to Roman, the final champions were Bobby Lashley, Big E, Bobby Lashley again, or sorry, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley again, Brock Lesnar again. The title is moving around. So that's kind of what fans want to see, right? They want to see somebody have a chance at this World Heavyweight Championship. They want everybody to do it. And so I'm with you guys there. I think it is time for some title turnover here. So I am going to give it to Finn Balor. I don't see a Money in the Bank cash in yet. I think they want to play out this storyline. I don't know how long it's going to be till it gets stale, but you might be able to run it to the end of the year and then maybe run something at Royal Rumble where you have Priest cash in. But I think you have too much good tension there in the Judgment Day with Balor as champion looking over his shoulder because Priest has the briefcase. And he'd be like, nah, man, I'm not going to cash in. You're my Judgment Day buddy. But maybe Finn just overthinks it so much, he becomes insane. And like he starts attacking Priest because he thinks he's going to attack him. When in actuality, Priest is doing absolutely nothing different than what he's been doing the past couple months. So just food for thought there. I think this match is going to tear the house down, no doubt about it. I do have to give the win to Finn Balor. It's his time. I'm ready to see what he can do as world champion. We've seen what he can do as NXT champion, and him as a full reign on the main roster with that championship, with the Judgment Day as hot as they are right now, with Dirty Dom and Rhea and Priest and everybody having either a title or a briefcase in there. I think that'd be a glorious shot to have, and I think it's going to be one hell of a match in the process. So seems like we are in agreement there for the most part. So let's talk about the match. I don't know if this is going to be co-main event because you have so much energy towards this one man, but they can pace it however they want. What we do have is what I hopefully think is the blow-off match, the rubber match between the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Match 3 in what I hope to be is a trilogy. No stipulation announced. Just two men who don't like each other going at it. In last week's podcast, Hunter and I came up with some ideas of would they add a stipulation to this match on Raw, and it was not to be. Instead, we just saw Cody Rhodes get absolutely destroyed. So
we got to waste our time coming up with all these great ideas just for them to be bland and take the easy way out.
How could they?
How
But
could they? And I don't even want to give my thoughts on it because that's how disappointed I am.
all yours.
Oh, oh, me personally, I could care less now. Needs a stipulation, and I'm pissed that they hyped it up and didn't pull the trigger. With that being said, Cody needs to win, but Bray Wyatt needs to come back. I don't even really care for Bray Wyatt, but I think if Bray Wyatt comes back because he was supposed to originally face Brock and mess with the winner, it would give Cody a storyline to stall till WrestleMania if that's what they want to do with Roman. Cody's been taking ass whoopings by Brock every time they're on Raw together in front of his mother. God damn it!
That's true. That's true.
He needs
Awful.
listen. He needs to pin Brock clean and then face Wyatt in a feud. It's my guess.
Okay. Okay. Bennett, so I'll lead the question to you. Not only who do you think's gonna win this match, do you see this leading to a Bray Wyatt feud at some point?
I
According to
want an
Hunter.
Uncle Howdy feud. That's what I want. No,
That's the
give
real question.
me Uncle
Bo
Howdy off.
Dallas.
Give me Uncle Howdy doing the death drop. Give me it in my veins right now. No, I honestly could not give less of a fuck about this match, and it really hurts because normally, oh, this should be such a big attraction. We don't care. Like, all right, yeah, if Cody wins, good. He's got a good win under his belt. Brock Lesnar, he beat the Beast Incarnate. We don't know where he's going for this because this does not tie into any other storyline. He goes back to wanting to fight Roman again. But then if he loses to Brock, then okay, well, Brock Lesnar's all this big beast and he's undefeatable. Like, you can't beat him. Cody Rhodes can't handle him. So I'm going Cody. I don't know what this means for anything. I don't know how they build off of this other than look at me, I beat Brock Lesnar. I can do anything now. And he goes into another little grindy feud until WrestleMania or until Royal Rumble or something. But I don't care. Like, please make it stop. And honestly, this should be a no holds barred weapons match or a fucking last man standing match. This should not be a one-on-one match because honestly, just throw a chair into the ring and someone disqualify the other one. Like, please.
You wanted to end in a disqualification.
Yes, just get it over with. Like, this should be a 2-minute match. Cody Rhodes jumps off the thing and hits the stunner and then grabs him and hits him with a crossroads. 1, 2, 3. It should just be a boom, done. And then we just move on.
I do think they will move on after this match, and I am in agreement with the both of you here. There should be a stipulation, and WWE could always pull a fast one and just say during the night of this match is now no disqualification or something like that, because we've seen that time and time again. One example I can think of is Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 33. That match was one-on-one until the night of. Then they made no disqualification. So anything's possible. One tidbit I wanted to throw in there. Brock Lesnar has not won a match at SummerSlam since SummerSlam 2017. 2018, he lost to Roman. 2019, he lost to Seth. 2020 and 2021, he did not compete. 2022, lost to Roman. So, Brock, he used to be so dominant at SummerSlam. He has lost that wave. And in terms of just watching this feud develop, I don't see him winning this match because I think Cody's going to be a little bit more resilient now. Not only did you beat him up in front of his mom, you gave him an F5 in front of his mom, you broke his arm in front of his mom, and then you get the upper hand again on him on Raw. I don't see a way that Cody walks into this match and loses. He's not just not going to allow it to happen because he has too much to fight for. There's too much pride. If he can't put away Brock, how is he going to finish the story against Roman Reigns? Who knows? That wasn't even a book. That was a magazine.
What's wrong with you?
That was a magazine.
Is that the books you read now? Come on.
It's all I read, apparently.
One fish, two fish.
One fish, two, whatever. But I am going to give Cody the win here. Ideally, these guys do just beat the hell out of each other with what they can do legally, but I am going to give the win to Cody. And ideally, we'll see another feud that's memorable. because this one started for no plain reason, other than Brock just wanted to beat somebody up, which is fine. But I don't know if it's against Bray Wyatt. So I guess we just have to watch the show and find out about that. So that leads us to the main event of the evening. We have a couple more discussion points, but we should talk about the main event that has been going on. We might have been able to see this since Night of Champions. Or sorry, not Night of Champions. Money in the Bank. We have the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. We have the champion of about to be 3 years, close to 3 years. Roman Reigns taking on his cousin, the man who has been through so much together with him in 2020, 2021 before Jimmy came back. In the process, we have Jey Uso, the resilient challenger, who out of the blue has all this crowd support, something he did not have when they first had their couple of matches together in 2020. Is the story going to change now? Are we going to see the family crumble for the last time with Jey taking that championship? Because you see it a lot. You see the story starts with Jey, but does the story end with Jey? And Bennett, I'm going to let you go first on this. What are your thoughts? Are we going to see a new champion, or do we still hear that bang and exit theme song of Roman Reigns at the end of this match?
I don't know how. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What was happening?
No. I was just rephrasing what Matt said. Carry on.
Oh, okay. Now I don't see what else they can do. Like, thinking about it. A new hand has touched the beacon.
Wait just a minute.
I shall pause. God. I shall pause for now.
Go ahead. Could it be? Is that Justin's music? He's here.
I apologize to everyone. I am so sorry for being so late.
This man showed up in the middle of our talk about the main event.
Oh my God.
Here.
The main event.
Oh, Justin.
I was ready for this too. I went out, got a fresh haircut and everything.
The haircut looks great.
Thank you.
Oh, Justin, it's okay. We'll catch up on your stuff after this match here. We'll catch up on your predictions. But we are talking about the main event right now. We're talking about Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. Just basically before we let Bennett carry on. We were just talking about, the family tensions going on. We could see this happening since Money in the Bank. A lot at stake here. So, Bennett, go ahead. Who do you got winning this match? And where do we think it's going to go from here?
Well, again, it's like it's really hard because you're sitting here looking at this match of, all right, we pulled out all the stops. We can't kick anyone else out of the family besides Solo. If Roman were to win, I think he's going to, because it doesn't do it any justice if we just have Jey winning, because Roman's just going to want a rematch and win it right back. It has to be like a definitive victory, and SummerSlam's just not the place to do it. The hype for SummerSlam is not the same as it was back in 2014 or even 2017, 2016, those years. It's definitely died down a lot. Now, if this was the Royal Rumble, or if this was, a WrestleMania, the hype would still be there. I just don't feel like this is the right place, right time for him to drop the title. But it's going to end the same way every single one of his matches does, with some underhanded Solo Sikoa tactic that ends up getting Roman the victory. But I could see, something happening, someone coming back, someone beating him up, but I'm going to keep it safe. Roman wins.
Okay. I think that's a safe prediction. Hunter, what do you got for us?
Me and Matt were talking about this a lot in the podcast. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Gotta plug it real quick. We were talking about, in what reality does Mr. Jey Uso give a realistic chance for Roman? I think that we will see Jimmy. We will see Solo. Heck, we might even see Rikishi. There's no telling who we're going to see. We could see The Rock, which I doubt. I don't think it's gonna happen. But we have to ask. There's two ways this can happen, in my opinion. It's Roman goes over clean, or Jimmy turns on Jay. And I think that Roman wins clean. I think that's the best bet. I think that this is a great SummerSlam. It's going to sell tons of tickets, a lot of watchers, but it's not meant to change the title. The Bloodline story is not over yet. And until it's over, there's no need to drop the belt because it's the best thing in wrestling.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think that's a great prediction. So Hunter has to roll out, unfortunately. He's got some real life shenanigans ahead. He's a college student, so it's okay. So we're gonna carry on with the podcast anyways. But Hunt, thanks so much for joining us, man. We're glad you can make it. And
it's a pleasure being one half of the Beach Bros.
Yes, sir. I will hold it down while you're away, and there's nothing to worry about. So
don't leave us with him. He's gonna fuck up the whole podcast.
I'm not gonna mess it up.
Listen, this will be a one-time thing. I will make up for it one time when Matt has to leave or post a single video, but I do have people waiting. It's a pleasure talking to Bennett and Justin for the short time we have to talk. Justin, hold my spot for me, man.
I will. I got you,
brother.
I got you.
It's a pleasure, fellas. Hey,
Yes,
y'all
sir.
take care, everyone.
Sir.
Enjoy talking wrestling.
Absolutely.
See y'all for SummerSlam reactions.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. Thanks a lot, man. And just like that, we are down to 3. And we have our guy Justin here. We're doing okay. So Justin, we know it's a little bit hectic for you right now, but we're just gonna throw you right into the deep end. We're talking about this main event here, Roman versus Jay. Do you see a new champion, or are we still gonna be throwing up the ones at the end of this match? Let me know your thoughts.
Man, as much as I would love for Jay to, I think, since this whole started, like with the Usos and everyone turning on Roman, I feel like Jay needs to be one to finally dethrone Roman, but not now. Like Bennett was saying, SummerSlam isn't what it once was. It doesn't have the hype around it anymore, in my opinion. It's like you're still gonna like watch it and everything, but like it's just not the right pay-per-view. However, I kind of disagree with what everyone was saying that Roman's gonna win clean. I actually think Jimmy is gonna come back and he's going to accidentally cost Jay. That's going to lead to Jimmy and Roman for the next pay-per-view. He's going to be like, let me do what you couldn't do and try to dethrone Roman. So.
Oh my gosh. That'd be so crazy because he would basically cost his brother the match and then say, you know what? I got next.
Yeah.
Like you were the reason why he lost.
Yep.
That would be funny. One thing I'll piggyback off the SummerSlam not being as hype. I think the issue is this year it's in Detroit. It's Detroit. Like what's good about Detroit?
Yeah.
Football team.
But is it though? Like they had a losing record last year. Like I know they went on a run.
Well,
but
so did the Packers. Like, come on. With Aaron DeBoy Rogers.
Don't look at that. Don't look at that.
You gonna get a Jets one now?
Listen, just because the Lions won one game doesn't mean they're going to the Super Bowl, like all those Lions fans predicted.
Yes, but
what else do
they
have
will make you believe it.
What?
They will make you believe they're going to the Super Bowl, and that takes heart.
Oh, they'll do it, and then they'll crumble in the fourth quarter like they always do.
Oh well, they got a better team this year. No, my caveat to that is, I think the real reason SummerSlam was a huge attraction is because when it was really popular, there was fuck all else to do in the summer. Like you were going on a couple vacations, but now because of like the age we're in, there's so much stuff we can do where we don't have to be paying attention to this. And it just, we're off, we're free. We don't have something to look forward to. We're not grinding all day and then have something to look forward to at night, like going to school. So the SummerSlam used to be, a big beach bash, and now it's just, oh, yay. We have nothing better to do. Well, we got so much other stuff we can do. Why do we sit here and watch this? So, and that was very much a Vince McMahon thing. He made SummerSlam super important, and I think we're starting to realize that it's just a really shitty pay-per-view in the middle of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of your thoughts on it, it will still be a big 4 pay-per-view for however long they want.
I mean, I think that I think that they're going to start pushing some of these other pay-per-views to be bigger than SummerSlam.
Okay. So do you have any off the top of your head you think would like replace the SummerSlam?
Well, so like I'm trying to think because of it's weird placements of these matches and of these it's kind of how these stories are unraveling. But like after WrestleMania, this is the next big pay-per-view, right? No,
you're right.
yeah,
Well,
right, yeah.
Money in the Bank is like risen up.
Money in the Bank honestly is bigger than SummerSlam because you have a big attraction match that happens, and that's the whole basis of that event, and which is why I love Money in the Bank so much. And the Royal Rumble is both of those. You have a big thing that you don't have any other time in the year that only happens on those 2 nights. SummerSlam, there's no stipulations. It's not a TLC or none of these matches besides the Battle Royal and the Triple Threat have a stipulation. Like, and so it's just a bunch of random one-on-one matches. So the storyline building is great, but just this event as a whole, it's just like day one. There's just as much hype.
Bro, this man is spitting, bro. Bennett's going off the deep end right now. Justin, I gotta know, bro. Do you agree? Do you think Money in the Bank is like rising up above SummerSlam? What do you think?
I totally agree with that. I think the big 4, like moving on, in my opinion, will be like, I would say Money in the Bank now is like the new SummerSlam because, I don't know. I agree what Ben was saying. But I also, to kind of throw my own pay-per-view in there, I've always enjoyed that. I know people didn't like it at first, but Crown Jewel, I think they're going to start trying to push that to be bigger and bigger and bigger. So
okay. So if they make Crown Jewel a big 4 pay-per-view, so let's say it does take the place of SummerSlam, because it does fit that time frame. They would probably have to move it up like a month or so, because usually they put Crown Jewel in October, and you have Survivor Series in December. So, sorry, November. I was thinking ahead. Would you rather put Survivor Series in December at that point, move away from the Thanksgiving tradition, and then put Crown Jewel like in September, or would you just put Crown Jewel where SummerSlam is now?
I don't think you move SummerSlam. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Me being biased, I know because Survivor Series has always been on my birthday month, and that's I would hate for them to move that. So no,
it is right. It is like always around the weekend of your birthday.
Yep,
so you do that on purpose. Yeah, but I do think Crown Jewel can get up there. They just gotta rise the stock a little bit. I think last year they did a great job of Roman versus Logan. You got something to say, Ben?
They got to stop treating their women like trash. That's the big issue with Crown Jewel is I will not support the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. Like I'll watch it, but I'm not going to be a fan of it until they stop with all of this women treatment shit. Like we gotta get past that, or we gotta fix that for me to enjoy it. And it's if it's stressful on the wrestlers, then it shouldn't be something we're excited about. Right. It should be something that's just a necessary evil we have to move past for money. But I don't think it'll ever be a top 4 pay-per-view, but I think it will slowly rise if they can find ways around how they treat the women.
Mm-hmm. Who knows how long we have to wait for that, but I am in agreement there.
It's Triple H now. It's not Vince.
Yeah, so. Triple H didn't sign the 10-year contract. Vince did, so he's just doing what he can. But just to move back to the main event here, we have 3 guys who voted for Roman. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna make it 4. I am absolutely on the Roman train here. I think Roman has to get the job done here. He's lost 2 pay-per-views in a row. Now, I'll bet they were tag team matches. I don't think Roman wants to lose 3, and more so lose that undisputed WWE Universal Championship that he's held on to for so long. Even though Jay might have had his number at Money in the Bank. I think it's a totally different atmosphere when it comes to one-on-one environments. And if we put aside interference for a second, Roman is usually the predator. I think that's very common, and he's not the prey. He knows how to psychologically and physically tear these guys down. And I don't think it's any different when it comes to Jay, because we've seen these matches in 2020. We saw it at Clash of Champions. We saw it at Hell in a Cell. And what was their third match? Was it SummerSlam, maybe? I can't remember. But regardless, I mean, he tore him down. The last time they fought was the I Quit match inside Hell in a Cell, and it only stopped because Rowan was choking the life out of Jimmy, and Jay said, I quit. So he definitely has a psychological advantage over him. And I think that's going to play a whole nother role in this match. In terms of interference, I don't know. I feel like Jimmy will get involved. I'm just not sure if you want him to cost the match or not. And I mean, he might be like the equalizer, take out Solo, but in terms of how they continue on with the rivalry, I think Roman will win. I feel like they're gonna let Paul Heyman get involved this time. Maybe Paul is like the one who like grabs the ankle of Jay when he's loading up for a super kick, and he gets into a spear, something like that.
I could see that.
Very,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very watered down of what it could be. Or maybe Paul takes a super kick and then Roman spears him, something like that. But that's what I imagine it would be. And so I have Roman retaining there in what should be a pretty good main event to cap off SummerSlam. Now, Justin, you came in late, my friend, so we are going to get you up to speed with the rest of your match predictions. I'm going to name off a match. Just give me your winner in a couple sentences as to why. Does that sound good?
That's fine. Yep, that's fine.
So we'll work backwards here. So we just talked about main event. Let's talk about the co-main event. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Who do you got?
I told you last night who I think was going to win this match, Matt. I'm a Brock guy. I believe my boy Brock is winning. Matt to everyone, yummy. Okay, what the hell? But anyway,
get a reject.
yeah, okay. I think Brock's winning. And the way Brock wins, I think, and this would be stupid for them to write this way, but it's WWE. We gotta, consider that. Brock's going to absolutely destroy Cody. Where Cody is injured for I told Matt he was going to be all the way injured up until the Royal Rumble, but that is 6 months. I didn't realize how far away that was. So maybe not all the way up till the Royal Rumble, but I feel like if Brock wins, he needs to injure Cody again, where Cody has to take at least maybe 3-4 months off. But I got my boy Brock winning.
Okay. Yeah, if they take Cody off for that long, man, their merchandise sales are gonna be down in the dumps. So.
Nah, because
No,
LA
they won't.
Knight will recoup it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
LA Knight will not only take all the top spots on the merchandise list, he's going to take Cody's spots as well.
I mean, like he's the hottest superstar to not hold the title. Like, what Cody Rhodes? Like, I could see them wanting to write him off TV, but like, we just got him back. Like,
Yeah.
we need to see something. I know that they're kind of in not a spot where they can push him against anything because they're trying to wrap up all these storylines. But like, honestly, give him Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. Do it now. It'd be entertaining.
I would like it. I think the problem is I want it to be a title feud.
I don't care. Give him a warm-up thing for a little bit, and then whenever Cody Rhodes eventually does get a title or Drew McIntyre gets one, then after they've held the title for a couple months, Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes versus each other. I mean, it would just be tear the house down electric. I mean, and it would give them something, it would give them something to do until like Finn Balor or whoever wins that title, Seth or Finn, they finish their rivalries, and Roman, either loses or he tries to finish the story again.
All right, respect it. Justin, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, who wins? World Heavyweight.
I got Rollins winning clean this time. I know a lot of people saying possibly Damien could cash in, but I don't see it yet. I think he's going to hold on to that for a while, like Theory did. So I see Rollins winning clean.
Okay. How about the Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre?
I'm Gunther all the way. I mean, I love Drew and all, but Gunther's been so dominant, like as the champion. I don't see who's stopping him anytime soon. So I got Gunther winning.
Yeah, I thought we would sweep on that one, but Hunter actually picked McIntyre. But he did make a
Oh.
good point. He said that he doesn't that Gunther doesn't necessarily need the Intercontinental Championship record, more so that he's proven himself as the best champion of the air of ever, in which I agree with, but I still think they're going to give him like the accolade with it.
Yeah.
We also talked about Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler.
I mean,
Yeah, that's all of us when we see this match. We're like,
I guess actually, since it's their first time fighting, I feel like another match is going to definitely be happening between the two. So I see Shayna winning this one. So
okay, clean sweep there. We all had Shayna as well. We have the SummerSlam Battle Royal, which is tough because they've only announced 4 people for this match. LA Knight, Sheamus, Tommaso Ciampa, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Do you think any of those 4 will win, or will it be somebody else?
it's going to be someone else.
Okay.
It's going to be a returning Viper.
A returning Viper.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me right now is Randy Orton is going to return after a year and a couple months for the SummerSlam Battle Royal.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to make SummerSlam, I guess, exciting for at least that part, you put in Randy Orton. Like the pop he's going to get there in Detroit.
Yeah.
Instant.
In a battle royal though.
Yeah, yes, in the Battle Royal.
What would happen if Randy Orton last eliminates LA Knight in the Battle Royal?
I would fans would
cheer?
turn on him immediately.
Would they boo? Wait, you think they'd boo?
Well, yes,
A pocket that would boo.
but I think it's going to be like a boo, but like, okay, it's Randy Orton, so we're like not that mad, but like we still hate you because you eliminated LA Knight.
Yeah.
Setting up a Viper LA Knight feud though, bro, give it to me.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
That could be really good though.
He's doing the LA RKO.
There you go. Yeah.
Why do I actually want to see this now? Thanks a lot.
Of course you do, because it's good TV, and that's what they need. Good TV. If you're not going to give LA Knight the championship, give him a fucking worthy opponent that's not Uncle Phil.
I didn't know Uncle Phil's a rapper. That was awesome. We love that. Justin, the triple threat undisputed women's champion match. Bianca, Charlotte, Asuka. 2 of us picked Charlotte. The other one said Io Sky's and come out as champion. What do you think?
Oh man, this is tough because I could see all 4 of them winning it. Like I could see Io cashing in, I could see Oscar retaining, but I think they're gonna hold Io Sky's cash in a little bit longer, and I see Charlotte winning it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like every time she comes back, oh, here's the title. Here you go. So
what's funny is that that's not an exaggeration. That's exactly what's happened every time she's come back for the past 3 years. So they're not being very subtle though if they want with that.
Yeah. So
and the last match on the card we had here was Ricochet versus Logan Paul. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this, Justin.
Oh boy, I didn't think I would care about this match as much as I do. I think Logan and Ricochet's been doing amazing building up the match. But I see Logan winning with a some type of under tactic, whether that's him kicking him low blow or just something. I see Logan winning. Sorry, Ricochet, but yeah.
I was going to bring up something. When we first talked about this, of like, because I talked about, Ricochet's not going to do anything until his buddy comes back. How far away is Braun Strowman from coming back?
At
You
least
know,
rest of the year. At
rest
least
of the
rest.
year. Because I was gonna say that would be a perfect time to bring him back. Because imagine Logan just wins the match and then his music hits and he just the here comes the Strowman Express coming to Pound Town on KSI and Logan Paul.
Oh man.
I would pay so much money to see like Logan Paul on one side of the ring, Jake Paul opposite from him, and KSI like on the other side of the ring. And all you hear is choo choo. And here comes Braun Strowman running through all three of them. Oh, oh, oh. I would
He's gonna be
pay
out the
so
rest of the
much
year.
money to see that.
It's just he comes back from injury and he goes, "Sorry guys, I'm still hurt. Just had to do that real quick. I'm gone."
Yeah.
Oh man. God, you can't even do that in 2K. That's
I
just straight from
know.
the heart. That's just straight from the heart. Oh man, that's great.
Bray Wyatt comes back and attacks Logan Paul.
Uncle Howdy,
Howdy off the top rope
from the rafters. He lines up Logan Paul perfectly in the center of the ring. Uncle Howdy is lowered from the rafters.
He Owen Hart's himself onto
He
onto
still
Logan.
misses him.
Oh my god.
Oh man, we have so much creative justice here. I love it. So transitioning on the next part of this podcast, we're going to talk about any surprises for this match. Justin already brought up the idea of Randy Orton in the SummerSlam Battle Royal. I do think he will be the big return because SummerSlam has had a big return every year. I do think he will be the big return. But I do think one idea that we need to float out there a little bit, and it's weird to say this, but with everything that's going on right now with the writers and actors strike, maybe The Rock shows up and beats on Grayson Waller. I mean, because they've been having this little Twitter feud. It's been on TV last week. Grayson Waller mocked the People's Elbow. Do we? I don't know. I'm just saying. The Rock probably isn't working on anything right now. Would he come back for Grayson Waller and not the Bloodline? And that would be funny. What is that? Do you guys think that's realistic in any sense?
I mean, I guess I would listen. He's turning into Heath Slater if he keeps fighting all these legends. So I mean, we need to chill out. But I mean, anything for Grayson Waller on TV, I'm fine with. So sure, bring Dwayne back, but like he usually only comes back to promote something he's in, and since they're not promoting anything because of the strike, I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. What about you, Justin? You see The Rock come back at all?
Listen, I'm kind of with Ben. I mean, I guess if that puts, I guess, Grayson Waller in a match with him and we get to see him, then sure, I'm all for it. But I don't think The Rock is looking at Grayson Waller as this big issue. Like, oh, you're mocking me, okay, kid, whatever. I got more important things to do. I'm not going to waste my time on you.
Okay.
I would also like to just say, anytime like we saw it in Puerto Rico, they had during the Bad Bunny match, Carlito came back. You know, if since it's Detroit, we should also think about people who were big wrestlers in Detroit or who had big moments in Detroit coming back as well. Which I can't think of off the top of my head because of that shithole of a town.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nobody cares about that. Jerome Bettis could come back. That's where he had his big Super Bowl run as the
yes.
bus is parked in Detroit.
Famous Detroit line, Jerome Bettis.
No, it was the Super Bowl he was
I
in.
know. I wanted to make the bad joke.
Come on. Barry Sanders could come back and come out, give him the People's Elbow.
Barry Sanders.
He's running right through him.
Just like Madden. Jeez, I am so mad about that. Do we see any other surprises coming back?
I really can't think of anybody that could come back that would get a big pop. I mean, Edge has been spotty here and there, but I don't think there'd be any cause for him to come back now.
Right.
Yeah, that's really who else is out injured? Big E, but like,
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, like
it's a different story with him.
if he did decide to return to SummerSlam, like I think it'd be just like a New Day backstage segment
Oh,
where
yeah.
like he comes back and like talks, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
I
I
can
think
see
that'd be entertaining though.
Oh
No,
yeah,
for
oh
sure.
yeah.
If Big E just can never wrestle again, he'd be one hell of a manager.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
what's
just
the verdict on that? Do they know yet?
no, they don't know yet. So we can keep out hope for now, but I mean, it's just been
God damn you, Ridge Holland.
what about Rich Holland?
I say, God damn you for breaking his neck.
Yeah, separated Elton Prince's shoulder too.
Unsafe. Give me
Yeah.
Duke Hudson.
We need if we just replace Ridge Holland in the Brawling Brutes with Duke Hudson. Would anybody notice?
I would notice because the wrestling would get a lot better.
Oh Jesus! Ridge Holland is
MVP of Chase U on the main roster, bro. Give him the title. He beat Roman.
That's true. I think like the body shape. Yeah, you wouldn't really notice. I mean, Ridge isn't that.
Ridge is a little bit too thick in the this area. You know, Duke's pretty slim. You know, it's like a triangle.
Right. So, as we replace Ridge Holland in the Brawling Brutes, we will move on to our final segment of the podcast here, the Beach Bros Wrestling Podcast for SummerSlam predictions. We will all go around our little triangle here, and we will say what match we think at SummerSlam is going to steal the show. What match is going to go above expectations? Which one is going to wow the audience and just take their breath away the entire time? I'm going to start. I was going to point at Bennett, but then I was like, I'm going to start because this is the Beach Bros Wrestling Podcast. And I do what I want. I do what I want. Thank you. So, the match that I think is going to steal the show, call me predictable. I think it's going to be Roman versus Jay. I think everybody's going to be on the edge of their seats the entire time. I don't see a way in which it, unless they just both completely forget how to wrestle, I think it's going to be very entertaining and you won't even want to like check your phone for anything. Like, even if your mom's texting you like about something important, you're probably not going to check it because you're watching Roman versus Jay because that connection is there. And it's been that deep emotional connection for years and years. And that's just basically how I see that going. So now I will point to Bennett. What match do you think will steal the show?
I mean, there's two schools of thought. You can go with the viral one, or you can go with the one that's you're gonna walk out of that match and you can be like, I'm going with Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. I mean, anytime Gunther is in a match with a European, it's just you don't forget it. And no matter what happens, these guys are gonna look fucked up. Like
For sure.
Monday night's gonna roll around and these two guys are gonna be sitting there. They're still gonna be trying to catch their breath because that's just how hard they go in the ring. And that's what they've learned. That's their wrestling style. And so it's not gonna be the viral moments we get, like we probably will get from Logan Ricochet, but this is gonna be the just holy crap, that was a good match. And it's Gunther. It's always him. He can have a match with a broomstick and it'll still get 5 stars. Like, give me that match. It's gonna be a hell of a show. And the fact that it's not even the main event, you know, because there's more important things happening, you're gonna get winded watching that, and then they're gonna have to do something to get you back and ready for the main event because it's gonna be a hell of a match.
Sheamus versus Gunther 1 at Clash of the Castle was the second match on the card. And
It was the best
no
match.
other match could compete with it for the rest of the year. So if this match between McIntyre and Gunther is a quarter as good as that match, they're going to be in good hands. And I think that's a great pick. Justin, do you have any differing matches? Do you think another one will steal the show? Or do you think
I was about to say the women's triple threat.
Yeah, you with me, she was great.
Please don't, please don't, please don't.
No, yeah. I kind of agree with what Ben was saying, but ultimately, I've been invested in this storyline between the bloodline and everything. I gotta go with the bloodline. I feel like once we see that the interference, we're gonna be like, oh shit, okay, like how is this gonna end now? Or like what's going to happen? But I would not be surprised if McIntyre and Gunther takes it because I mean those two, like Ben said, they're gonna get fucked up. And I'm all here for it. But I've been invested into this Bloodline storyline. I wanna I think it's gonna be very interesting. Just the fact that Jay is the one not too long ago at the last pay per view. I think that's going to play in effect somehow. Something's telling me somehow that's going to come in effect. I don't know how, but I got the main event being the show that's going to take or the match that's going to take it.
All right. All right. I think all of us are correct. I think they all will steal the show in some capacity, but well, I guess we'll have to find out which one it is. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here, the Beach Bros Wrestling Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or you're listening to the audio file on Spotify, we appreciate it. And Justin Bennett, thank you guys for coming on, man. It was a great time. And Justin, hopefully next time we'll get you in at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
We'll get the full Justin connection there. But
Yeah.
Ben, thanks for coming on, man. Once we head back to school, I think you and I will be sitting next to each other quite commonly talking about wrestling. So
Of course.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, guys, we appreciate it. This is probably going up on Friday. So if you see this before then, enjoy the show, SummerSlam, and we'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you.